Hey guys, I haven't really made a video on Diablo 4 in quite a while, and especially with the release of Path of Exile 2, I've been really enjoying Path of Exile 2, but the new season of Diablo 4 just started, and some of you may know, I used to play a ton of Diablo 4 on the channel. I have like a little over 400 hours in the game, which for me is quite a lot. I don't normally stick with one game for too long. And so the new season just started, and I have to say, man, after playing Path of Exile 2, this is something. So here's what here's what I'm gonna do. I think it's better you see it for yourself. So I've put a little over 10 hours into this character. I think we're sitting at 11 hours. Yeah, we're at 11 hours. I haven't followed a build guide or anything. Just thrown some stuff on, went into Torment 1, which of course is the tier that it will allow you to start seeing, every possible drop. And the higher difficulties that you go from here, Torment 1 through 4, all that does is simply make it so more loot drops. Well, I gotta tell you, I don't think I want more loot to drop. Let me show you what I mean, okay? This is a Thorns build, and the whole theme with this season is that you have all of these witchcraft powers, and these are essentially just auto-casting, a bunch of auto-casting horse shit. And I gotta tell you, dude, it gets a little silly. I honestly don't really even feel like I'm playing the game. So we'll just say they do, we'll say they have 20% extra health. I want to show you guys the problem with this season and the problem with Diablo 4, which is essentially just there's way too much loot to the point where it's silly. It's like a Borderlands game at this point. And there's really no point to go to higher torment levels because it's only going to make it more loot, which is awful. And also, with all these new powers and stuff that are just auto-cast, there's not really any depth. And I'll show you what I mean. So I'm not even going to attack. I'll leave a little snail trail on the ground, and I'll use an ability to make myself a little bit tankier and increase my thorns. But let me just show you what I mean, dude. This is so silly. Oh, let's hit our first little route. Just legendaries everywhere. Just absolutely everywhere. I'm not even gonna, I'm not even gonna grab them just for the point of the video. I'll go back and maybe I'll grab them. But, I mean, look how silly this is, dude. All of this loot. And I know what some people will say. Some people will say, well, yeah, you can get to this point in Path of Exile as well, where you don't even have to attack enemies or do anything of the sort. But at least with Path of Exile, to get to this point, you have to play, like, I don't even have to look at the game right now. You have to play like 100 hours plus on a character, or you like grind your ass off. By the way, yeah, that's greater affix gear. Last season, it was like impossible to get any of this greater affix gear. It was super difficult. Some people went like 100 hours. So like they needed to make it more common for sure. But I mean, it's a little silly how much of this shit drops. Like, oh, there's a greater ancestral unique right there. Okay. Like people would have killed for that last season, and okay, cool. Oh, we have a bunch more legendaries. Oh, using my potion stuns me for 1.5 seconds, but it adds more legendary loot. Yeah, no, I definitely need that. Sure. We'll get an extra minor reward as well. I didn't even read what it does. Who cares? Does it matter? No, not really. We're just going to keep walking through. So essentially, I was playing this season, man, and I've actually been a big defender of Diablo over Path of Exile 1 because I felt like, oops, sorry, I accidentally clicked on a guy. My bad. There's no WASD movement, which by the way is also a major L over PoE 2, but I've been a big defender of Diablo 4 simply because when you're as busy as I am, you know, I work a full-time salary job, usually averaging about 50 hours a week. On top of that, I'm a full-time student, which, you know, depends on the class load, but it could be anywhere from 25 to 30 hours a week if it's a harder class. By the way, look at all the money as well. 77 million gold. Which is just silly. They said, oh, people are RMTing. There's people gold farming. We'll just give them so much. I had 50 million gold just from going from normal mode, the lowest difficulty, into torment. But yeah, so like I've been a pretty big defender of Diablo 4 just because it's nice to not have to, you know, put in a ton of time. But my defense was always this. It's nice to, over the season, put in like 30, 40 hours on a character and reach about pinnacle power level. That's like pretty nice for me compared to, you know, PoE and even PoE 2, where it's like 40 hours just for the campaign. You know, so that's always kind of been the draw for me for Diablo 4. But I gotta say, man, Diablo 4 is just, it's literally just too easy now. I mean, like, what is the point in even playing this at this point? This is a not optimized, just made it up myself build. Like, and I know it's like a meme that Spiritborn is like OP, but I'm pretty sure they nerfed it after last season. Like they fixed the stuff that was bugged and everything at the very least. And even like the downsides for the legendary powers is like, oh no, if I dodge, fire will rain down. Well, let's dodge a couple times. Oh my god, it's so dangerous. Let me dodge and get hit. Okay, it didn't even... You can't make this up. So, you know, maybe it's just the peons, right? Maybe it's just the peons. Let's get to the boss. And maybe the boss is different. Maybe I might have to attack the boss. Let's see. We'll try and do it not attacking the boss. And look at this, by the way. I have nothing, like, really even in my gear. No gems, no nothing. Like, none of this gear you could stop and check. None of this gear is even, like, really, really good. All the greater AFK stuff, by the way, I got just from running this the last time. So, like, previously, you know, you at least had, like, the draw of, like, oh, I gotta get the greater AFK gear, right? But now it's like, you don't even have to get to the higher tiers to get the higher drop chances or anything in order to get the, you know, the good gear. And this is like, I'm not even doing anything, man. Like, you have a mercenary, which you get for free. Like, I've never even went and got any of the other mercenaries. This is just like the starter mercenary, dude. But hopefully you're seeing, like, playing Path of Exile 2, which has, don't get me wrong, it has a lot of faults as well. Playing that game, SSF, is just like cock and ball torture, dude. It's terrible. It's so bad. Their crafting system is non-existent. It's literally just Gamba. Don't get me wrong, like, Path of Exile 2 definitely has issues, but by the way, it is early access. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, this is just silly, dude. I was a defender of Diablo 4 for it being less time intensive and definitely more casual, so somebody like me with a busy life could do it. But I mean, I've put like 11 hours into a character, and it's so easy, and you see how much loot is already dropping. Why would I want to make my character stronger to go through higher torment tiers to drop more loot? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I could get a higher chance at a mythic unique. Sure, that's all well and fine, but most of the mythic uniques aren't even good, to be honest. Like, I've gotten tons of them, and most of them are not good. Or they're like okay, but not better than the normal uniques that have been like heavily buffed over the last few seasons, and not even better than the multiplicative effects that you get from the legendary abilities. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to make a quick little video just to kind of showcase this because I thought it was funny. I was gonna do this whole video where I recorded the gameplay running through this, and then I'd cut to Path of Exile 2 gameplay in a boss fight and just, you know, compare the two, but I don't want to do Diablo that dirty, man. All I'm gonna say is I think the gameplay kind of speaks for itself, but let me know what you guys think. Do you think Diablo 4 should be this mind-numbingly easy? Do you think it should just be throwing loot at you like a Borderlands game or something with the loot pinatas? Let me know, man. I'd love to hear from you guys because, man, I'm really looking for a middle ground here. I thought Last Epoch would be it, and I really did enjoy Last Epoch, but it wasn't quite there, so I'd love to hear your guys' takes. But anyway, thanks for stopping by this kind of weird video. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see all of you in the next video or Stream. Bye-bye.